My mom was really the spiritual leader of our house. Dad was engaged. He was a great father. He always told us he loved us, but when I got into the Air Force, I know she felt like we kind of got a divorce at that point, even being newly married, because I dove headfirst into work. We decided that we wanted to come back to Texas and really work on us, focus on starting a family. And so we got back to Texas down in San Angelo and started our family. We've got two amazing little girls, Adeline and Madison. So I got more and more into work, and she was building us a home, and we just kind of became more and more distant. Our intimacy suffered, our communication suffered. So in the beginning of 2023, I was working down in San Angelo as a civilian, and a gal came up to work on our team, and I had just started into a doctoral program, as had she. So we immediately made connection on an intellectual level, and that started kind of breeding emotional connections as well. In September of 23, I took a trip with this gal for work. We had a lot of drinks that night, and I made out with her. I came home from that trip and immediately got on the road to boot camp. While I was walking away from God, I felt lost. Having lived and grown up in church, I felt like I just didn't know God. So I got to boot camp, and the first night, one of the questions was, what do you want to leave? What do you want to leave here? Kind of said in the silence, I want to leave this event that happened this past week. When I came home, she didn't really know what to expect, and I felt like my heart was changed to the point that I didn't have to necessarily be truthful with her about everything that had happened. In December of 23, there was a work party, and coming out of this fight, I just made the decision that I was going to have an affair. So I went home with this gal that night, December of 23, and that started an 8-month-long affair. Drinking more and more and more, just trying to cope with things. I became very suicidal. It got much worse in February, end of February, when I went over to this woman's house and she had pregnancy tests lined out. Well, I walked through the door and my wife just immediately started crying. She said, something's changed. And I said, I know, I can't live like this anymore. That was the first day that started our journey to restore back to what God designed. And one of the things that we had to come to the realization together was that it wasn't about us restoring with each other first. It was about us individually restoring with the Father first. As we were looking at how we could just grow together, we didn't have extravagant budgets for vacations and date nights and whatnot, and so we just said, what about re-engage? We got into re-engage, and the things that God was already doing in our marriage and showing us about each other, restoring us at a speed that we didn't feel like was possible. We are still restoring. We are still going through this, however many months removed from my sin. We both recognize that marriage isn't an agreement. Marriage isn't a contract. God says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Yes, Christ gave his life up for the church, and that's what we're called to do as men, but there is so much more that we can do in living for our brides. Marriage isn't about you. If we are to be like Christ to our families and to our wife, I have to learn how to serve and how to be in intimate relationship with him first. I am meant to reflect the glory of God to the world, and that's what marriage is about. It's meant to be an example, a mirror image of what our relationship is with Christ.